Well, friends, here's your ironic story of the day. We've got the pedophiles calling for more gun control. Former President Barack Obama, Disney CEO Bob Iger, and Matthew McConaughey joined together in New York Tuesday to condemn and lift up solutions to the continuing issue of, quote, gun violence on the 10th anniversary of the school shooting in Sandy Hook. Iger spoke at the event stating, "As a grandfather, as a father, as CEO of the Walt Disney Company, I believe there is no greater or more important task than ensuring the safety and well-being of our children." Now, as if him being a grandfather or a father qualifies him to be anti-gun, I think that I could equally state that being a father of my own qualifies me as being a pro-Second Amendment activist, if you want to be fair. He went on to arrogantly state, "Those of us who are in positions to affect change, whether it's by influencing laws, of shaping culture, or supporting organizations on the front lines, I think we have an extra responsibility." So as if being an elitist in a pedophile supporting industry, that somehow makes him so important that he anoints himself as being part of that group that has this added additional responsibility to further the support of gun violence. Now, let's be very clear that nothing that he has suggested, nor the Sandy Hook Promise organization that he was speaking at, has done anything to promote any kind of real safety. I'm talking about actual safety, not the idea of banning guns. Banning guns is not gun safety. Gun safety is treating people how to operate around a gun, how to use a gun, how to teach children that if you're around a loaded gun, what to do to prevent anyone getting injured or hurt. They don't promote any of that. All they do is lobby against gun companies. That's not gun safety. Our boy Barack Obama also stated at the event, "Perhaps the most bitter disappointment of my time in office, the closest I came to being cynical, was the utter failure of Congress to respond in the immediate aftermath of these Sandy Hook shootings. To see almost the entire GOP, but also a decent number of Democrats, equivocate and hem and haw and filibuster and ultimately bend yet again to pressure from the gun lobby." What he's talking about is Barack Obama was calling for an AR-15, what they call an assault weapons ban at the time. Clearly, that's not the thing to do because that is one of the most popular guns in the entire world, more specifically in the United States. And of course, that's what they wanted to ban. And Congress was smart enough to realize that voters will bounce your butt out of Congress if you do that. And of course, they didn't want to get bounced out of there. You might remember that Barack Obama had just won re-election and more than likely would not have called for an assault weapons ban, as they call it, had he not already won re-election at that point. Obama went on to lie about the gun community, saying that we are unique among nations in tolerating the proliferation of guns on our streets and allowing civilians to routinely purchase high-powered weapons of war. Of course, that's not true, and that is an absolute lie, and that's a mischaracterization of everything. But I would also like to point out that this is happening at the exact same time, if we're going to talk about proliferation of weapons of war, this is happening at literally the exact same time that the Biden administration, who all these people support and are a part of, are actually releasing a person who proliferates actual weapons of war onto the streets of the entire world. So you see that these people truly don't care about these types of things, because while one hand is talking about something, the other hand is actually promoting that very thing that they're speaking against. My point in telling you all of this is that, as I've stated before, I don't support actual boycotts. In other words, I think that you guys, along with me, we're all smart enough to make our own decisions with our dollar. If you ask me what I'm going to do, I will tell you, I would never spend a penny with anything Disney related. Not going to. Am I going to ask you to do that? No, because I assume that you all are intelligent enough to make your own decisions. If you feel like still shopping with the Disney organization is the right thing to do for your family, then do it. Do I think it's a good idea? No, I don't. I absolutely don't. And again, I would never spend a penny of my money with that organization. They have shown themselves to be what they are for a very long time. So I would encourage people to look at this organization and look at how they spend their money. Because I want to be very clear about this. Those insubordinate amount of dollars that you spend at these Disney resorts and Disney locations, are being used to write checks to these anti-gun organizations and to pay people like Barack Obama and Matthew McConaughey to come to your event. Because make no mistake, they didn't come for free. Barack Obama probably showed up for at least a minimum of $200,000. So your ticket dollars that are going to stay at Disney and stay at all their fancy places and buy all their fancy stuff is being used to be laundered to go spend to get these high-powered people to go to these same types of events and speak out against your God-given Second Amendment rights. Spend your money wisely, folks. I know I am.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. He's so horrible.